my name is Nancy. I'm an instructor at the Electra Spa School of Aesthetics in Tacoma, Washington. And today we're going to go over the practical for doing a facial. Thanks for joining us. So we are starting our practical. We're doing a facial and our table is already set up. Some of the common errors that happen during a facial, oftentimes students will reach over and apply hand sanitizer this way. Many schools even teach that that's okay. If you're doing that, there's a chance that you could be contaminating this area, and then everything you do after that will be contaminated. So when sanitizing your hands, make sure that you reach over, push on your hand sanitizer, sanitize away from your client's face, and all of the things that you do, remember that this is an actual client and you want to treat them as though they are an actual client. Yeah. Your first aid kit. You also want to make sure that all of your items are all written in English and easily to be read. So we're going to start off first cleansing our client's face. When you cleanse the face, the entire face must be cleansed. Most cleansers cannot be used on your client's eyes and mouth, so we're going to be cleansing with toner. You're going to brace your client's eye inside out, flip it over, inside out. You're going to dispose of this into the trash can. If you touch the trash can, you must sanitize your hands away from your client's face. Grab another cotton round. We're going to brace our client's lips. One swoop over into the trash. I did not touch the trash, so I do not need to sanitize my hands. Next up, we're going to cleanse the remainder of our client's face. You can use a palette and pull from it, or you can pull directly from your products. Close all of your items with your forearm and replace. Emulsify at least 3 times. Carry the product over to your client's face, starting with the chin, product, cheeks, and then forehead. Bring both hands down. Work the product into your client's skin using your finger. They will be looking for that once, but I also recommend that you do it 3 times to make sure that your proctor sees everything that you're doing. More cotton rounds. We're going to use toner, and we're going to remove our product. At any time during this process, your hands get sticky. Remember that this work area is all about you and your client. So if you need to remove any residual product off your hands, bring this in the trash, you can simply wipe your hands off here. Now that we have cleansed, we're going to exfoliate. Anytime that you exfoliate, you must have your gloves on. And you can either exfoliate with a product or you can exfoliate with a brush, as long as you have gloves on. Today, however, we are going to use product and not the implement. I'm closing my item with my forearm. I'm deciding to use 2 cotton rounds. You can use just 1 if you'd like. Start at the chin. Just work your product onto your client's face. Then come back and work the product in. Her face is nicely exfoliated. Watch out for the lips and eyes. Toss this in the trash. I'm going to remove my gloves. Sanitize my hands. I'm going to remove the product using a steam towel. Your towel should be wet before you go to the state board. It makes it a lot easier. You can opt for a bowl and a thermos, but I highly recommend you do this. I'm going to squeeze the excess water out. Test to make sure it's right. Don't want to burn our client. Open up your towel. You can choose to do it this way or this way, however it makes you happy. After testing, you're going to bring the product or the towel across to your client. Again, verify that it's not too hot. You don't want to talk out loud, but in your head, I'm talking to my client. Covering all of her face except for her nose and mouth, and you want to make sure that it's very obvious that you're leaving that space open for her to breathe. Apply pressure. Count to 3 in your head. Don't rush through these steps. Now I'm going to open my towel and work the product off my client. This is a great time to get all your extra exfoliant off. If you find that you are done with this first swipe and it's not all off, lift your towel up, turn it around, retest to make sure it's not too hot, bring the product around. And I don't know if you can see in the camera, but one of my bags just hit the floor, and that is okay. I'm gonna finish this step, take my product off, lift it away from my client, put this into the soiled linen, and then I'm going to grab with a glove, and I'm gonna pick up the item that I dropped. In real life this happens, and in real test this happens. Picking it up with my gloved hand, putting it into the trash, removing my glove, and then again, sanitizing my hands. So now we are going to move on to the massage. Applying the product to my hand, closing with my forearm. Emulsify 3 times. Bring the product over. You're going to place it on the chin, the cheeks, and then the forehead. Start back down at the bottom. First step is effleurage. You're going to want to have big sweeping cut motions across your client's face. You can do this 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, all the way around, as long as you have done enough for your proctor to see. Stop. And then petrissage, which is the pinching. There are several different ways to do all of these. Returning back down. Now friction, which is the scissoring motion. Stop. Come back down. I'm going to do tapotement next. Remove excess product with toner. And toner should be done after every step except the final one. Around to my client, toning her face. If there's any extra product that's on here, it's going to make it more difficult for you to do the steps following your eyelash enhancement, makeup. So make sure that as you're doing this, you're setting yourself up for the future. And now we are going to use a mask. The mask has to be seen from a distance. It cannot match your client's skin tone. I oftentimes use bright colored masks for my students. That way it's very obvious. Put a little bit of product everywhere, and then I'm going to work it in. And then I'm going to remove the product using sponges. Wringing them out, and to be on the safe side, I want to make sure that they're not too hot. Bring them around to my client. And while you're doing this, you kind of want to, with the hand that's removing the product, the opposite hand, you want to kind of brace your client as you're doing this to make sure that you don't cause your client to fall. These are single one-time use, so these will go into the trash. If you touch the can, make sure to sanitize your hands away from your client. Whenever you exfoliate, you want to make sure that you moisturize your client as well as use an SPF. And we have chosen to use a product that is a moisturizer and SPF so that we can limit 1 step on this process. Emulsify, bring forward. This can be tricky because you can end up with more product on your client than you want. If you see, I'm kind of cupping my fingers in to kind of hold some of my product back. If I feel that I have too much, I can do this lovely little move back here. Complete. There is still time on the clock. If you do your facial like this, you'll have plenty of time that you can grab all of your products. These will all be sanitized. I'm going to put them in the to be disinfected bag. I did not touch the bag, but if I had, I would sanitize my hands. If you can clean up a little bit as you're going, it'll save you so much time. This is going to be tossed into the trash, single use. These have not been used, but they're all single use, so they will be put into the trash as well. You can also take your SMA. Thank you for watching our video. If you could like or subscribe, we will definitely do more videos. And this is our first try. So thanks so much for tuning in. Electra Spa School of Aesthetics in Tacoma.